Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 47 of Bardic Quest, the show where a group of British trained actors tell fantastical improvised stories through the medium of Dungeons and Dragons. As before, we're still without Annina and James for this session, but we do have Ollie and Isaac here. So Johann and Thorik are with us. A shout out as well to our friends over at Syrinscape for allowing us to use their sound effects for added immersion for the show. Do check them out, Syrinscape.com. It's a great service, great app, and I'd highly recommend using their sound effects at your table, either in person or online, for that added immersion. They've got a wide catalogue of soundboards and loop sound effects that sound really, really cool beyond kind of usual music tracks that you might find from movies and things. It just adds extra ambience, so do check them out, Syrinscape.com, and a huge thank you to them for allowing us again to use their effects. So, without further ado, let's get into this week's episode of Bardic Quest. Last time, our heroes, after having dispatched of the Red Wizard Harmoncost, began investigating in his tent, looking through his research, trying to establish exactly what it is he was searching for and the importance of his work. They stumbled upon many, many books and journals indicating that he was searching for some sort of underground complex, perhaps a vault in the local area, and perhaps had connections with some sort of cult who he was hoping to perhaps form an alliance with to help overthrow the Red Wizard leader called Saz-Tam in the land of Thay. They also tried to gather as much information as they could on their only real lead following their conversation with Harmoncost, being this banshee Agatha, who is said to lair within the Neverwinter Wood to the north. Having partially ruled out initially the idea of visiting her, Sister Gariel suggested that perhaps they attempt to plead with her vanity, as in the Banshee's vanity, not Sister Gariel's, by offering her a gift. Because legend has it that anybody who strokes that ego, shall we say, is granted the answer to any singular question that they might seek the answer for. So, we pick up now. Investigations of the research completed. It's now night time. Our group have set up a camp utilising as much as they can the tent that Harmoncost was using to live within, and we pick up now with Johann about to go on watch for the evening. So Johann, you're sat by the fire, staring into the flames, and you're looking in the direction of the watchtower and where Harmoncost lay dead and the zombies. Could I ask from you for a check to see if you manage to stay awake? That's going to be a Constitution saving throw, please.
Can I have advantage because it's been a hard day? I mean, because it's been like a really important day, even. And
No,
Oh.
Nice try.
9 plus 1. What is it? Constitution?
Constitution, yeah.
10.
Okay, you're fine. So you sit on your watch and you listen out and you hear nothing, really. Nothing at all. Is there anything you'd like to do on your watch in the meantime? Or did you want to wake up Sister Gariel?
I think while Johann sat on his watch, he's thinking of if he can only ask one question to this Agatha, what will it be? Because he needs to know as much as he can, and if she's going to be, and I suspect she is going to be, like, doesn't do open answers to open questions, it'll be a very closed answer to a very simple question. So he's just thinking it over. Maybe even like just thinking about himself, really. Thinking about the hunt and thinking about harm and cost. But then the hour comes and he gently gives Sister Garviel a little shake.
Okay, she wakes up, she looks at you and she says, oh, is it time?
It's time for your watch.
Thank you. Good night. She steps out, sits by the fire, and as you drift off to sleep, Johann. A few hours pass by, and then Thorik, you're awoken by Sister Gariel, and she says, it's your watch, Master Dwarf.
Hmm? Oh. Thank you. Get some rest.
Thank you. And she lies down. What would you like to do on your watch, Thorik?
I would like to... I mean, if I have enough time, I'd like to... Because I'm not... So I think with scrolls, you can either read them or you can't, like if they're to do with what you're all about.
That's a good question. I might have to consult the Book of Hands.
Consult the Book of Hands. But I'd also like to try and sit with this ring and see if that can become... I'd like to identify everything, really.
Okay.
I'd like
you don't
to
have
take
any
a...
identifying magic prepared, do you?
No, but I believe, I might be wrong again, that you can, if you sit over a short rest or sometime, you can spend an hour, I think it is, to learn the properties of an item.
I think you might be right. Let's assume that to be the case for now, and I can always look that rule up later, and we'll correct going forward if that's the case. But let's assume that for now. You can have that for free if not.
Okay.
So yeah, okay. So you take a little bit of time looking at this, and this looks to you to be a ring of protection.
Ah.
Now, I don't believe... Does that hour... In fact, let's assume this to be the case, that hour allows you to understand how it works as well, yeah? Okay. Essentially, it's wearing it... It requires attunement, but wearing it does gain a +1 bonus to AC and saving throws whilst you're wearing it.
Given that to Sergei.
Yes. Absolutely, yes. Johann stirs. Ah,
What is that halfling?
And as you're sat, Thorik, looking at this ring, having just identified it, could you give me a perception check? In fact, no, actually, could you give me a constitution saving throw, first of all, please, just to see whether or not you stay awake after identifying this?
14.
Okay, great. Now could you give me a perception check, please?
Oh, cock. A perception, you say?
Perception.
A 15.
Okay, great. So as you're sat essentially in the darkness apart from your fire, you do hear something on the wind.
Like wing beats of something large?
And you hear and then you hear something really loud fall through some nearby trees with a thud to the ground.
How near?
Probably about 60, 70 feet.
I snuff the fire.
Okay. Fires out.
Presumably that wakes us up.
Yeah, I think it's probably fair to say that that's probably woken you up. The ground has probably shook a little.
And I go over to them. Is there any kind of like, not that we're in it, but is there any kind of like bed, like a sort of simple frame bed or like the desk or something to like get under in?
Yeah. Yeah, you could certainly get under the desk if you wanted to.
You know what? It's going to expect us to be. I'm going to just literally grab Johann and Sister Gariel, and I'm going to drag them out of the tent into the ruins of the tower, and I'm just going to like throw them into it so we can see the tent, but not be in the tent.
Sure. Sister
and
Gariel's like completely bamboozled as to what the hell's going on.
I like hold my finger up to them and I place my shield like over us and just try and hunker down so we can see the tent, but hopefully not be seen.
Can we see what was dropped?
Something large. It's dark, so it's hard to tell at that distance. But all you can see is some large shape.
Thorik, you have dark vision, don't you?
I do.
Up to
60 feet, and then hang on. Oh, where are you, dark vision? Features and traits. Dark vision. Up to 60 feet.
So just out of range of that dark vision from where you were.
What is it? What do you see?
Something big. Something with wings. Something probably not very nice.
Could you give me a perception check? Both of you, actually. Give me a perception check.
Buddy?
21.
Thorik?
16.
16. Other than the general nighttime wildlife, you hear relative silence.
Are we under attack?
Don't know. I don't know if it's seen us or not.
How long do we wait?
You rest here as best you can. I'll go and check it out in a while.
Let me go. He may not see me.
Don't get close to it. I just want to make sure it's not going to suddenly come careering towards the tent.
Okay. I try and stealth my way out of the tower, keeping in cover if I can.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have sheaths for your daggers?
Yeah.
I lift the blade an inch, cover it with the shield, cast light on the blade, and then resheath it. So Johann can signal to me if anything goes badly.
Okay.
Like it's covered, and I literally just like sheath it straight away, so there's no flashlight.
Blue light.
It's covered. It's covered.
Okay, I make a stealth check.
Okay.
That is an 11.
11. Okay. So you move quietly through the darkness. Because it's so dark, it is a little bit tricky for you to not like snap the occasional twig. So you do make a little bit of noise, but nothing too terribly loud. But you're certainly not. You're probably not likely to take anything by surprise, as it were. They probably, if there is anything listening to you, they're probably aware that there's something moving.
Try and inch my way closer to what fell.
Mm-hmm.
See if I can get behind some kind of rock wall or fallen masonry.
Yeah.
And then peek over, see if I can see anything.
I mean, essentially, at the moment, you are looking into darkness. The only source of light at the moment is currently sheathed. So from where you are, you can't really see anything but pitch blackness.
Okay. I chance unsheathing
Okay.
a little bit. If I'm like 30 feet away from it,
Mm-hmm.
and I hold my dagger out, will I be able to see anything?
I believe light is up to 30 feet and then a further 30 of dim light, is that correct?
Yeah, I believe that's correct.
Yeah. So that will be enough. If you're 30 feet away, it's just right on the edge of the bright light, so you should be able to see it clearly. And it looks to be a cow.
Is it alive?
No. There are large wounds upon this cow.
I go over to it and inspect it.
Okay. Could you give me an investigation check, please?
Yes, I can. 23.
Okay. So these wounds look to you, they are quite large and quite spread out across the body of this cow, and they're quite deep as well. And actually, on the one side, the bit that's near the ground, there are just big chunks of there's just big gaping holes, quite large, just missing of the underside of this cow. And there are otherwise large puncture holes throughout and spread over the cow. It looks to you as though something quite significant in size has taken several bites out of this creature.
I unsheath the dagger and wave it in an arcing motion towards Thorik.
I head over and say to Sister Gariel, stay here, stay hidden.
Okay.
And I go over to Johann.
I hold the dagger out. It's a cow.
Great. I come over and inspect him. God, what did this?
I don't know. Something big.
I heard wings.
You heard wings?
I think so. Certainly got dropped from a height. And I don't think it flew here.
Didn't kill it to eat.
Well, not all of it, by the looks of it. This seems to be a picky eater.
Can we assess from... I mean, this may be a little beyond our knowledge, but can we assess from the size of the teeth what kind of creature this might be?
Oh, you can certainly give it a go. Do you want to give me some nature checks?
Whoa.
Sure.
Sure. Oh. 11.
I got, for a nature, a 17.
Johann, you have absolutely no idea. Thorik, you probably can deduce from that, whilst you may not know specifics, certainly whatever it was, might be akin to a large reptile of sorts.
Possibly, I don't want to scare you. Could be slightly dragon-like.
I was afraid you'd say that.
So was I. They're a problem.
If any of us... Wait. The dragon cult.
Aye.
You don't think...
It would stand to reason that those worm-loving ne'er-do-wells would probably have a reason for being around here. I don't really know how it works. Do they work for the dragons? Do they love the dragons? Do they worship the dragons? Do the dragons like them? Do the dragons care they exist? I don't really know how it works.
No, me neither. But we know there are maybe a dragon nearby, and we know the dragon cult is active in this area. It can't be a coincidence.
Great. Add it to the list of things we have to worry about. Let's get some sleep. Or you need to get some sleep. I'll finish my watch.
Right. Let's hope nothing else happens until morning.
Just one good night's sleep is all I ask. Just one.
Johann cracks a little laugh.
We go back and wave over Sister Gara and like, hopefully it's gone. I'd maybe suggest not relighting the fire. Maybe just get yourself close to the coals for the last hour or so of bedtime.
Sure. Thank you.
Before you go...
Is everything okay?
Well... No.
It's fine.
Sister, what do you know of dragons?
She kind of looks at you wide-eyed with horror. She says, well, I know they're not to be trifled with. Is that what we're dealing with here?
I'm sure. not. We've fought manticores, owlbears, all sorts of flying creatures that could have dropped that cow. I didn't mean to worry you.
No.
Right, well, good night, I guess?
Good night.
I'll keep watch. Johann, do you mind if I borrow the dagger? It's a bit smaller than everything else. I just take like the whole thing. Fancy man. And while everyone else is resting, I'd like to look over the scrolls. The rest of the rest.
Mm-hmm.
Leaving the scully one till last and just sort of gingerly opening it.
Okay.
That's quite a cool image, isn't it? That you just, rather than having like a desk lamp, he's got like a dagger that he just stabs into the desk.
I like reading.
That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Okay, so you've got 3 scrolls, isn't it?
3 scrolls.
Okay. Again, I'll have to look at the rulings of this, but for now, let's just assume that you're going to be able to identify all of them during your watch. So, first of all, you have some scrolls that were, I believe, you found within the
Red Brand Hideout.
The Red Brand Hideout. That's right. Yes. Okay. So the first looks to you to be a scroll of charm person. The second of those 2 that you found in the Red Brown Hideout is a scroll of fireball.
Hello.
The scroll within the bone tube that you found within the tent is a scroll of darkness.
Not too naughty then.
No, not too naughty.
Not too naughty. Medium naughty.
Medium naughty.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So that's probably going to take you to the end of your watch, I think, taking the time to study those. So now we come to the dawn, where you all wake up. Now, you had a fire, you had a bedroll and a tent, which is very good, but because it is winter, that's not going to save you completely from having to make a Constitution save at all, but at least you're now not doing it with disadvantage. Okay, so if I could just get a Constitution saving throw from you both, see how you handled the cold overnight.
$16.
Great.
18.
18. Great. You're all fine. Had a lovely night's rest, aside from the interruption in the middle of the night, and you awaken feeling wonderfully refreshed. Now, Thorik, was there, as your watch was coming to an end at the dawn, were you in any state of prayer, preparing any different spells, perhaps?
I was, as a matter of fact. So I have switched out just one spell. Seeing as we've got the water, we had our ration for yesterday and have the water skins filled for this day, I've swapped out Create or Destroy Water for a new spell that I've not used before called Augury.
Ooh. Augury. I'm familiar with Augury. Is that the predicting the future one?
It is. It is the one that gives weal, woe, weal and woe, or nothing. As our path is maybe slightly unclear to us. Thought it might be useful.
That is a cool spell.
asking the big lady upstairs at some point if we have any specific questions. And it's also a ritual, so I won't burn a spell slot
If you take 10 minutes to cast, right?
if I take 10 minutes to cast it. And, you know, if I've got, I might as well at that stage. We've got to take a minute anyway, so.
Absolutely. Okay, yeah, that's a cool spell. I like that spell. Okay, so that's it? That's the only change you've made to your spell list?
Yes, still got the same ones. Aid, Augury, Bless, Cure Wounds, Guiding Bolt, Healing Word, Hold Person, Lesser Restoration, and Spiritual Weapon.
Nice. And I believe I'm right in thinking that all of your water skins are currently full because you use your create water.
We downed it and then
Yeah.
refill.
Good. All right, great. Okay, so the weather this morning, it's pretty cold. There's a light easterly wind on the air. Unfortunately, though, the fog has returned for the day, and there's a general light mist, so it's a little bit damp as well, but not full-on rain at least. But yes, certainly the fog, which is unfortunate. So, what would you like to do next?
I'll show Johann the ring and say, it's actually more than just a ring.
Oh?
It can help protect you. So it's pretty good magic by my estimation, at least. It would be, and he sort of shuffles his feet, but it would be foolish if one of us didn't utilize it until we can put it in Sergei's hands. So, and he tentatively holds out to Johann. I know you have a problem with magic, but my magic is positive, and for all points and purposes, I am a tool in your tool belt to have around. It's merely a tool.
Wayne.
Yes.
I'm sure you're familiar with the face that a toddler might pull when you're trying to give them a fork full of something they don't want to eat.
Far too familiar. Yes.
That is the face that Johann is currently pulling at what Thorik is suggesting.
You don't have to, but it's good for you. Open. Just gets Johann's hand and just starts to go, meow.
Wayne, is
Yes.
it possible that I can wear it without wearing it? Basically, what I'm saying is, can I wear it around my neck rather than wearing it on my finger?
In order to get the protective magic of it, I would say no.
It's still
Because
wearing it.
otherwise, just carrying it on your person anywhere would count as wearing it.
Fair
Right.
enough. All right then. So takes a
But
deep
you are
breath.
going to have to. Sorry, you are going to have to tune yourself to it anyway before you can get the magical properties of said item.
Okay, so I tell you what then. He doesn't put it on for now, but he takes it, and he says, "I need time."
Of course.
I will carry it.
Don't lose it.
I came close to death before. Perhaps this will come in useful.
Grand.
So he puts it in a pocket and keeps it. Shudder.
And can I can I check out this bottle of red liquid? Does it look familiar?
It looks
to-
very familiar. Yeah, I'm not even going to ask you to roll for anything. It's a potion of healing.
Hooray! Is it a normal potion of healing?
Yes.
Cool. I will hold on to that in case I need to stick it down anyone's gullet. Or actually, I mean, Johann, again, like, this is probably more useful for you to have than
No.
me. Right, fine.
Although I did hear of a maiden from Ealing who had a potion of healing.
Go on.
I forget the rest.
Okay.
You're a bad
Sorry.
So, you have the whole day ahead of you. Where do you intend to go next?
Johann, I feel like I'm giving several revelations all at once. The ring, potion, not to push my luck. If we were unsure of a course of action, we people of my with my affliction, as you might call it, sometimes commune with certain paths and people, entities, sometimes to help us seek guidance of some kind, shape, or form. A map, if you will. We could, if there is any questions that we have throughout the day, we could just look at a map. That's what we'll call it.
Johann appreciates that Thorik's going for the hard sell. So Johann says, very well. But he just turns around as if Thorik's getting changed. Because he doesn't, he's happy for you to, he's not happy for you to do it, but he'll accept you doing it as long as he doesn't have to look at it. So he turns around as if giving him some privacy.
So we think that going to find this banshee might be our best course of action.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll be a few minutes.
What are you doing exactly?
Nothing. Just reading the map.
Right.
And Thorik will start to just lay out some incense and some runes, and start to cast augury as a ritual.
Johann has a little peek over his shoulder.
Okay. And you're asking your goddess whether or not going to the banshee is a good or bad idea, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Excellent.
Or whoever's on the other end of the line, a patron or a
Switchboard.
Yeah. Please hold for the true silver switchboard. There'll be a matriarch waiting to receive your call in due course. Please hold.
Do, 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 do. Hate this hold music.
As this whooshing and swirling magical energy is just keep facing that way. Just you're fine.
Sounds like an awful lot's going on behind Johann. There's lots of light spilling over and swooshing sounds, but he's doing his best to stay facing away.
So Thorik kind of goes, closes his eyes and starts to breathe in the smoke, and as he exhales, this sparkly silver, smoke tinged with golden light comes out of his mouth, and he looks at it and goes, "That's a good sign. Seems like a good course of action. Let's go see this banshee."
What happened?
Oh, nothing. I've sent the equivalent of a raven to someone, and they think it's a good course of action. Simple as that. Done. Painless.
Mm-hmm. Let's get underway. Sister.
Yes?
We're about to leave. Is there anything you want to get from here before we go?
No. Let's. I don't really want to be here any longer than I already have been.
Do you need anything from the shop?
Thinking of a different shop.
Okay, so you get up, you pack up your small camp or whatever belongings you've used to leverage Harmon Cost camp, and you make your way north towards the Neverwinter Wood in the hopes of visiting Agatha the Banshee. which is where we shall end this week's episode. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe, or if you're listening on podcast, rate and review, and of course leave a comment and let us know what you thought. Thanks again for tuning in, and we will catch you next week.